Happy Wednesday, guys. So once you've accepted the responsibility that all leaders must accept to be good leaders, the question, of course, is how do we start to develop and improve your leadership skills where they are? The most important step, or I should say the first step, is for you to now begin to identify what your core leadership principles are. This is to say, what are the things that you view as absolutely important and integral to being an effective leader? Probably a question you haven't considered before, but it's going to be important for this step in the process for you to really think about what makes a good leader. Now, you might be watching this video and thinking, well, maybe you're young, you don't have a ton of leadership experience, right? Well, if you think back from your parents to school, maybe through sports teams, or if you've been working a job at any level, chances are you've had a few people that you've been under the leadership of at various times in your life. And if you're like most folks, you've got a bit of a mix. I bet you have a few people in your life who have been very effective leaders for you, which is awesome. I'd also be willing to bet you've had a few people that are very bad or ineffective leaders. That's just kind of par for the course. So start thinking back to those situations and think about what those folks did that was particularly effective or particularly poor, frankly, stuff that you would not like to repeat or stuff that you want to add into your core, okay? The reason it is important for you to develop your core leadership principles is because these are going to be the things that you anchor to whenever situations get stressful, whenever big decisions have to be made. These points are going to guide you and always keep you on the track for the leader that you are. Now, here's how you're going to start to develop those things. As you guys know, I'm a big fan. Get a sheet of paper. On the sheet of paper, you're going to write at the very top, I believe that leadership is about, and you're going to come up with 3 one, maybe 2-word ideas that you think is important for leadership. For example, for me, I believe leadership is about courage, accountability, and embodying the standard. Those 3 things. I will go into more detail on those later, but you want to ask yourself, what are your 3 core principles? It shouldn't be more than 4, and it has to be at least 2. I think 3 is the good splitting of the difference. But what are your core principles that you believe? Now, I bet you guys could share those 3 core principles with someone you think is an effective leader. They may agree with some of them. They may not. That's fine. This is what I have identified over the course of my experience, over some of the things I've learned from mentors and other awesome, effective leaders, and also some of the things I've learned to not do from people who I've had in my life who are ineffective leaders. These are the things that I think are most important and that help keep me grounded and keep my leadership decisions consistent and always improving and, frankly, always getting the best overall result out of the team or out of the project that I am leading. So, courage, accountability, embodying the standard. Everything I do from a leadership standpoint comes back to those 3 things. And when you have something like that to anchor, something you've thought through, something you've learned through time and experience and, success and failure, frankly, then you can be a lot more confident and calm as you lead people. Now, I think the first time I did this exercise, I was probably 18, 19 years old. So now I can't even remember what those 3 principles were. They're different than what they are now. So you're going to evolve these over time. You're going to evolve these through your own experience, both as following someone and eventually as being the leader in certain cases. But it is very important for you to start developing your leadership skills. You have to develop your core principles of leadership. They will be yours and only yours. They cannot be anyone else's. But once you start developing those core principles and really start refining them, then you're going to be on the way to improving your leadership skills. So take some time tonight and really think about what are the 3 things or 4 things or 2 things that are most important for you as far as a leader. What do they have to embody? What do they have to execute? What do they have to believe? Because you have to know what you believe. Because other folks, when they look to you for leadership, you have to be steady on the wheel. And the way that you're steady is because you have a core guiding principle of leadership that you will always go back to, that will always keep you and your team out of harm's way, and it'll keep you moving forward. 3 things, guys. I believe leadership is about 1, 2, 3 ideas, 1 word, maybe 2 words, and then start developing from there. Thanks, guys.